Pode me
Já tá
escutar?
ouvindo? Posso. Aqui, você primeiro pergunta, depois você fica ao vivo. A última vez eu saí com o dedo do nariz. Culpa sua.
Mas você é tudo gelado. Ah, olha, você é muito gelado.
Ah, mas eu tô bem aqui, tá
Bastante.
normal pra mim.
Bastante.
Melhorou. Ah, eu vou sair e
Ah,
volto.
é melhor agora. Hey,
Ah, mas
Jason,
eu tô
thanks
com
for
a
joining us.
ligação. Hey, Jason! Última vez eu saí com o dedo dentro do nariz, que vergonha. Uh, uh, uh.
Para com nariz, é melhor.
É culpa sua. A
Não,
culpa
é fofo.
toda
Hey,
sua.
everybody, Jax, Lungs, Michael.
Ei, Michael. Cadê Marcos?
Não sei,
A live não começa sem
mas eu
Marcos.
acho meu internet é muito ruim, eu acho. Vinny, hi Vinny.
Contraidor, me faça esse favor. Yeah, infiel. Eu quero ver você morar no motel. Estou te expulsando do meu coração. Oh, Michael.
Hey Michael. Okay, so what one knife would you recommend somebody get if they're like, I need to get a pocket knife. What should I get? This is probably not the best place to start because 150 is expensive, but this is the best production knife in existence right now, in spite of the fact that it's it wasn't a great it wasn't a
Que
great
barulho.
example of execution. It's overpriced for what you get. I get it. The Grivery is too thin, too flexible. Osten is a little bit for the materials, but this is the future of knives. So I'll leave it at that. Let's see. Hogue Deca. Sure. Let me
Hum,
pull it out. But once again, the Hogue Deca is a bit pricey for a novice. Most people don't expect to spend $100. I don't know why, but most people don't expect to spend that much
Ei,
on a knife.
Marcos! Marcos chegou! Marcos in the house. Você tem caixas novas? Não.
No, eu?
É, pensei que tinha caixas pra abrir.
I mean, I would almost recommend. Here's Gen One Hogue Deca. Uh, it's fantastic. The G-Mascus is beautiful. The action is fantastic. This is kind of advanced though because it has a compound grind, and that's more for a specialist. I feel like someone who knows that they want different kinds of grinds. For your beginner, I'm not sure that that's the most important thing.
Uhum.
Pilar 3 is a great starting knife. Okay. Um, stop. Goondocks. Yeah, let me whip out my Deca. I want to show you my new
Hey,
Deca.
Gondok!
Pilar is a very good knife. The thing is, I don't like frame locks or liner locks. They're not intuitive for beginners. They're going to say, how do I close this thing? If someone's never handled a liner or frame lock, it's not intuitive. In my opinion, a button lock absolutely is. Even the axis lock, like if you look at it and play around with it, you'll quickly realize what it's for. It's way more intuitive than a liner lock. A liner lock is practically invisible to most people. So let me see. What's this? That's the Archeo.
Ok, você vai mostrar agora. O que você fala?
Even the Civivi Elementum button lock, which I literally wasn't even going to get because it doesn't have a flipper tab, and I was up in arms about it. Even that is very intuitive. I think it's really quite intuitive. Where is it? Here it is. Somebody who looks at this is going to press that, and that's pretty intuitive. Furthermore, if you're going to get that, might as well get the White Mountain Knives exclusive sway back button lock 154 cm micarta scales, and that it's also a good introduction because then people can be like, wow, this is micarta, and of course they're going to fall in love with micarta like anybody else who's sane.
Qual é o material do cabo?
Not so much for a beginner, but yes, exactly. Flippers. Oh wait, let me highlight some of these. Oh, I gotta plug in. Maybe that's part of my problem.
Será que você pode me responder, bonito? Eu tô perguntando também.
Sim, momento. It wasn't so much necessarily for a beginner because it could be for somebody who really needs to use their knife as a heavy user, but doesn't know that much about knives. Now, the reason why I assume it's to some level a beginner is because somebody who knows a lot about knives is not going to ask, if that makes any sense. It's sort of a self-eliminating question in that somebody like us is not going to sit here and ask, what kind of knife should I get? You know, we might ask for suggestions like, oh, what do you know about a good frame lock? Or we're going to ask a way more specific question, in which case there's no public discussion there to be had except to gather random opinions. But a harder question is someone comes up to you and says, you know, I've been using this old Gerber for the past 18 years. Have you got a suggestion? Once again, they probably paid $20 for that Gerber back in the day. They might not want to pay $150, but you know, they might be willing to pay 50 or 70 or 80, who knows? But something with a more intuitive lock. Again, if someone knows about knives, they're not going to ask you that question. My dad's still open. Hold on. I think I'm frozen. My dad still opens flipper and thumb stones with a pinch grip, and has trouble figuring out how to close them. And he's a knife collector. Yeah, I agree. I can see that. Oh, hey, Brian. Thanks for joining us.
Coletor, o que ele falou aí do pai dele?
My dad has zero issues when I handed him an Axis lock. I agree. That's good to know. That's a good data point. And he was probably prior to that, probably, you know, like a backlock type guy, probably, right? The CRK tie-tack too, exactly. A solid flipper, studs, and button lock. It's my wife's favorite because it's easy to open and close. There you go. Let me show you. So.
Ele não fala, você não me explica nada, hein, filho? Obrigado por ficar calada, né?
Exactly. For women, I agree. Especially the compact in the smaller size. Well, the Titac 2, I think, is discontinued now. I think this is the BT Fighter, which is CRKT's new version. It doesn't have astounding action, but it's good enough. This would be the like. So I would say, let me make this bigger. So I would say, you know, this would be my suggestions for, you know, again, if they already know about knives, then you can have a more interesting in-depth discussion. But someone who's going to literally ask you, what kind of knife should I get? Doesn't know that much about knives, but wants one. And then you can let him go on his own journey later. But he wants a quick, simple answer. He doesn't want a 3-hour discussion like you and I would want to have. I mean, we would want to go, well, you want to consider this, that, and the other. At that point, so I would say like this, in order of
Não
price,
cabe.
I guess it would go something like this. So I guess it'll go something like this. You guys probably can't see. Hold on. I'm gonna rip something open.
Bota pendurar, bota
Something like
deitado.
Hmm?
Bota deitado e joga a câmera por cima pra gente ver melhor. Isso.
So
Assim.
if they're willing
Solaris.
to pay a lot, get the 80 20.5. Obviously, if they really, really want to, get the 80-20. But in terms of production knives, a 20.5. Once they get that, they don't really need any other knife. Or the Orion Solaris, again, button lock. Or a little cheaper than that, the White Mountain Knives exclusive Kaiser Swayback button lock, micarta scales. Below that, about $50. The Kaiser Elementum button lock, again, pretty intuitive. Or finally, $30-40-ish CRKT BT Fighter / Titac 2. Again, button locks, I would say go with that, so that later on, if they want different, more complex, of course you can throw in the smock, because it's a hollow grind, which, hollow grinds are more useful for someone who doesn't know what kind of grind they want. Let them get a hollow grind, in my opinion. Spyderco primarily has full flat grinds, which have greater strength. You're going to have better tip strength. Again, if they're a hard user. But again, if somebody's like that, they're going to know. And in which case, you're not going to need to necessarily guide them in any kind of particular way. Let me catch up with comments here.
Ó, JN.
Show me the
Na
money
área.
pants. There we go, money pants. The penguin, okay. Again, the penguin is a great idea because for the price of this, you can get a much, much, much better action, etc. But again, and the good thing is the penguin has I can show you the penguin. Let me go grab the penguin real quick.
Charles Adventure. Todo dia ele apronta uma. Pam, pam. Pam, 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 pam. Assim. Que sono. Agora o Adventure foi longe demais, viu? Pode voltar. Hey, Grub. Hey, Matt.
Guys, my M4940s jade scales turned out to be so awesome. I dyed them with Dye Moore's sandstone. Okay, for like 14 minutes. They look like translucent walnut wood or something. Wow, that sounds cool. Do you have an Instagram that we can see it? So if you're going to go along the route of a penguin, again, incredible action, and micarta, but again, it's a liner lock. A liner lock is a lot less intuitive. Obviously, it takes 2 seconds to learn. Once they learn it, it's a done deal. But I still think liner locks are yesterday's technology. I think it's going to go the way of, I don't know, the dodo bird. I just, well, I hope so anyway. Maybe frame locks won't go away, but I think it's a lot cheaper for companies to make a liner lock, which is why I think there are so many liner locks, because it's a lot more engineering to come up with a button lock, which is why button locks always cost more, right? So you look at this is just, I think it's 8CR. I think so. Anyway, I think it's 8CR, and this is just their, their GRN, FRN stuff. But this has a more of a price tag because of the engineering involved in that button lock. But again, if you're going to go the route of the Penguin, where'd it go? Penguin, you can also, the Honey Badger, again, has incredible action, incredible price. But once again, we're dealing with a liner lock.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, it's telling me I think I'm about to reach my limit. That's bullshit. I didn't know I used it that much this month. Anyway, we're dealing with liner locks, which I don't think, if they want to get liner locks later on. But again, for that price range, instead, why not recommend the Crag or the Kicker from CJRB? Same price point, except it's got the recoil lock. Again, the recoil lock is profoundly more intuitive, fidget friendly than a liner lock. So I guess my point of the video is, let's get away from liner locks. Liner locks are BS. I'm over liner locks. Let's please stop making liner locks, for God's sakes. Okay, let's see. Let me try and catch up here. Where are we at? Good Lord. Okay, don't forget. Yes. Oh, thank you. And that's also, or recommend them the Ganzo with the axis lock, not the Ganzos with the liner locks. In which case, if you're going to get a Ganzo and it has a liner lock, in my opinion, might as well get a QSP. I think the QSP is better than a Ganzo with about the same price point when you're talking about liner locks. But this, and if they're super budget, and they're like, what? You want me to spend $20, $30 on a knife? Then tell them to get the M-Tech button lock. I want to do a whole video on M-Tech button locks. I paid what, $10 for this? $9, but you can get them for about $12. I got mine on sale, but shockingly good action, good detent, flipper tab. The lock works fine. If they're like, you want me to spend how much? Tell them to get an M-Tech. If they don't want to spend more than $10, $15 on a knife, then they're not going to know. They're not going to be like, M-Tech, I'm too embarrassed to carry one. They won't think anything of it. In fact, nearly everyone I come across that's carrying a knife, almost all of them have one of the M-Techs, whether it's Tac Force, Mil Spec, whatever, Fantasy, all the different United Cutlery imprints. Jan, send me a pic. Sounds sweet. Okay, would love to see those scales. Me too, yeah. If it's on an Instagram, put your thing up here. Say, kids, bonus Hollywood America. Hey, Grumpy. I just realized I can do that. Asher makes a great. Yeah, I agree. Asher does make a good axis lock too. However, for that price of the Asher, well, it's well priced. But for $80, you can get the Orion, Solaris. The Asher, you're going to get S35 VN though, so you get a much better blade steel. But also for that price, I like the damn. Now I'm blanking on it. The it's in Nitro V though. It's not S35 VN. The Perpetua. So I really like the Perpetua. I love the blade shape. It has a Gen 2 now that's chamfered better, but the axis lock on this is buttery smooth. So yeah, this is about that price range, or it might have gone up in price. Never mind. I guess Asher still is a better deal. Sorry. Yeah, never mind. So yeah, I guess Asher is a good deal if they're willing to go to about 80. Sorry, let me post that. Okay. So yeah, that's another good one. Asher knives when they have it available. I don't know why. For a while they got rid of it and switched to liner locks. I don't. But they're back out now again. I've noticed. Hey Matt, flicking your penguin right now. Yeah, the action on it is astoundingly good for the price point. I thought, oh God, is this about keistering? What's on the keister schedule tonight? Oh, good Lord. Okay, and let's see where we're at. The frame lock variant of the Asher. Wait, no. Who makes a frame lock variant of what has a frame lock here? Can't think of any of these that have a frame lock. The Kaiser Latvind in Iron Man just went live at Mojave. Oh, okay. The Kaiser Latvind, is that the front flipper? Iron Man configuration, because it's the original one is black and white. Is that correct? Not a fan of the Hunter Badger scales, though they are very slippery. Is that right? The honeycomb? You're right. You're right. Wow. I always assumed. Yeah, I always assumed that honeycomb would give you some decent texture, but you're right. It's surprisingly slick for having considerable amount of texturing done. It's otherwise kind of slick. You're right. I never would have thought that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I didn't realize that. I guess that goes to show you need to put way more. I mean, which is why the higher end knives have that almost microscopic texturing where there's just tons and tons of little, the surface area is, every single one of these has massive texturing, more like fabric. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at the see, CRKT does that fake carbon fiber, but it allows for microscopic texturing. So let's see, how does this feel? I mean, it's definitely slick, but yeah, there's something weird, oddly slick about the Honey Badger. Thanks for pointing that out, Gundox. Yeah, it looked awesome in the sun today. Button locks have a lot of lock stick issues. Button locks have a lot of issues, period. Again, if you're more of a knife expert or whatever, not expert, but and that it takes more to do engineering, so you'd rather have something like a frame lock that's more sturdy and reliable, then yeah, button locks can develop problems. By the way, the Solaris, I think he knew that, and he did something to make sure. I don't think it's going to develop that, but yeah, it can. For example, I'll show you my Kaiser Cormorant is a disaster because their idea was to screw an actual button into that, and that thing got wiggle and it literally flew out. So it's in my room somewhere. Oops, I shouldn't have deployed it. Now I'm not going to be able to close it. I need a pin to close it. I'm going to need like a paper clip or something. Should not have done that. Anyway, there we go. So yeah, I mean, you're just gonna. It's kind of one of those things. Whenever you buy something, they always say, the less moving parts, the less chance there is of something breaking. Which is why fixed blades are better than even a cold steel, right? uh, a much cheaper fixed blade is still going to be stronger than this. Well, that's actually not true. In this is probably the exception. But the fact that you've got a pivot here, there's more moving parts. There's more chance of failure. I guess, except in this case, because Demko, by adding in that pin there in the triad, the three-way, he sort of creates the same shearing force like that a fixed blade would need to shear off. So, but that was kind of a genius move on his part. So that's kind of the exception to the rule. But otherwise, this is definitely a hard use knife. But as you can see, that liner is not going to fail you, but compared to a fixed blade, that's a lot less steel that's got to fail. And again, because it's on a pivot, there's just more to fail overall. So the less moving parts, the better. That's why, yes, with button locks, it's just there's way more engineering involved, way more precision that's required. So, yeah, there's that much more of a risk. But with production standards, what they are, especially with a company like Civivi, I mean, I thought I was going to hate the Civivi button lock, but I went ahead and pulled the trigger because it was on sale. You know how Civivis are on sale right now. I mean, go figure that Civivi would nail that action. I mean, the action is super smooth. The lockup is very satisfying. They do such good machining at Civivi. But they're so much easier to manufacture. You mean liner locks? I think that's why. Good deed. Então, entra de novo o mesmo link, Mariana. Frame locks are less good than liner locks, are less good than button compression locks. You mean in terms of fidgetability or just in terms of what you would recommend? I would say so too. I think I could show you frame. I think frame locks are just the absolute worst. Now, it's the opposite order when it comes in terms of sturdiness. It's not an accident that Chris Reeves is using a frame lock, because if you're, like a carpenter, a plumber or something, and you're doing a painter and you're doing horrible misdeeds if you're creating complete blasphemy on your knives, a frame lock or obviously a triad lock is going to be way sturdier. In terms of nothing's going to slip, nothing's going to give way. If you want to see Dutch bushcraft knives, they tried a baton with the Adamas, and the very first strike they hit it. It failed. Now they've batoned with the bug out many times and not had a problem. Advanced Knife Bro batoned with the bug out as well, and no problem. So I'm not saying you can't. Axis locks are weak, because if you think about the technology, it shouldn't be, because it's a full bar that goes across there. So it should be pretty strong. However, I think the weak point comes in right there on the tang itself. If that gives way, the whole thing will give way. Unlike, it would be like this. So the triad lock, it's like having that bar, except this bar slides, except in this, it's backed up by the full back spring, right? So that's why these won't fail, because that not only is this thing fixed, it's never going to give way, plus it's backed up by that. Versus here, the whole thing is designed to move, and it's literally only backed up by a flexible spring. It's not backed up by a full back spring, right? So in terms of sturdiness, let me post that. So I agree with this. And if we were to do it in order, I would say frame locks worst, liner locks, then I would say axis, compression, button. I would do it in that order. Because compression locks, I think I think they might be a little bit stronger because they're sandwiched in between the liners. Shout out to Bill Pro X. Hope to see you soon. Hope you're doing better. I remember this one, brother Bill. Forgot to tell you guys we got our power back today. Congratulations, Jesus, that was a mess. So terrible. And thanks everyone for shouting out Bill. I run into a lot of Kershaws. Okay, that's true. That's true. I do run into Kershaws, but my feeling is once they've hit Kershaw, they're doing okay for themselves. I think Kershaws make very, very solid budget knives. But sadly, I bet you anything MTech sells 2, 5, 10 times, even Kershaw, even as much as Kershaw does quite a lot of volume. I'm pretty sure MTech outdoes them. Sadly. Most people I know only like CRKT or Kershaw or Buck. And they think they are top shelf. Oh, yeah. Some know Bunchbane, but not many. I totally agree. People who, I don't mean to be insulting, people who think they know knives, they say CRKT, Kershaw, Buck, and even Gerber. Sadly, Gerber has not lost its reputation amongst people. Us nerds are a little bit hit to it. And again, you know me, I'm always advocating for CRKT because even though I think they overpriced for what you're getting in terms of materials, what I like about CRKT is that they are willing to try new things. I think their CEO is brilliant. I always that's another thing. For gentlemen carry, I can do a whole different thing on that. I think the CEO is fantastic for gentlemen's carry. I think it's perfect for office carry. I think it looks elegant. It's a fair price. CRKT, they do the minimalist, which is genius. CRKT does a lot of stuff that is worth it. Gerber, as I always say too, they do a lot of other non-knife stuff as well. I think that gets him in good with me in terms of that. Can't wait till February. White Mountain Eyes Big Lighter XL 4-inch button lock flipper studs, 154 CM by card to $72. Okay, yeah. I remember you mentioned that. So I will pretty much 100% be picking that up. So February. Yeah, keep reminding us if you would. Is Bill here? Is he? I don't think so. I think we're just shouting him out. I've got the power. Remember that song? The original version by Chill Rob G. No. I got the power. That one? Old school DJ over here. No, I just asked for a shout out. Okay, yeah. Penguin. Yeah. Okay. Oh, the penguin. The penguin has a liner lock? The titanium one, you mean? I have the Asher Century with access lock. It's a great knife. I also have the Grandy, which is a frame lock. Yeah, okay. Again, you and I both, Grumpy, we do not like frame locks. Hey, Scott. I was looking. Okay, Scott. Shaman G10 is slick. Okay, sadly, I don't have a Shaman, so I couldn't tell you. And I would want to get my car. Wait, no, does it come in my car? No, I think you have to get them aftermarket. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Also, I think I like button locks best as well. Frame locks don't work well with my big old hands. I push on the lock every time. I totally agree. I think frame locks got where they are because, well, A, because of Chris Reeves. B, because if you're a custom maker and you're gonna make a knife that's meant to be used like a Chris Reeves knife, I feel like they don't want to be associated with anything that fails, with a lock failing. And they're not allowed to make a triad. And no one wants to make a back lock because who's going to buy a back lock? So I think that's why they go with the frame locks. I think they think there's an elegance to them. They're just so impractical, having to build muscle memory, not to press on it. Yeah. And the idea that when you grip it, you tighten the lock. So that's a good thing. I think the mind of the maker goes into that, but us as end consumer, I mean, if I fail a liner lock, I'm fucked in all kinds of other ways. I mean, something really serious went wrong. I got other problems if I can fail a lock. Yeah, the original Latvian was either black, white, or bounty hunter green maroon. Oh, that's right. The green maroon was a brilliant colorway. I actually liked that one. And a front flipper. This one is deep red, anno aluminum, gold hardware, and a reactor pivot. It looks hot. Did you say that's out now? I forgot already. I know you just said it above, and I'm really sorry. Very cool, this knife. Bring Mariana. Oh, her phone won't charge. Okay. You can also put the peg. Yeah, on the yes, I can. I keep the peg. The big problem is they didn't oh, there is a lanyard hole. Wait, since when did that happen? Hold on a second. Didn't get the memo on that. Oh, duh, George. Okay, so there is. I didn't realize the two screws that hold in. Oh, okay, so there is a lanyard tube in this. I didn't realize that. So I guess I could put this through it. I was awkwardly attaching it to the pocket clip, which I don't like doing because I don't want to lose it. I don't want to keep it separate. I don't want to keep it at home. So I realize now I can actually thread it through. How did I not see that? How did I not? I must have looked for it. You know, that's one of those weird things that's frustrating. Sometimes I look for something and I become so close-minded, I'm not able to see it anymore. Okay, so take a look. I am so the liner lock is fully disengaged, and there's barely you can hear the blade play, but you can't really see it, if that makes sense. Okay, now it's like stuck. Okay, yeah. So it's that peg is quite close to locking it out. Here, let's try it with this one. Okay, so with the full size proponent, let's try it. Why is it not screwing in? Come on now. Are you serious right now? What the heck? There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I'm gonna release. Okay, well, can you hear that? So it's pretty solid with the pin in there. And in the case of my full size, it won't even let you release the. It's so solid, the peg, that or poster. I don't know what you would call that. It actually. Oh, now it's really stuck. Ugh, what a drag. Woo, that threading is not spot on. I'm gonna have to thread that through a couple times, get it unstuck. Have you ever carried the proponent? Those studs have got to go. The proponent. Wait, I'm blanking. What's the proponent? Wait, the proponent. What's wrong with me? The proponent. Which one's the proponent? Why am I blanking on the proponent? I'm blanking out really, really bad. I'm having a major brain fart. Show the knife. I still don't own a Civivi. Look, when I first got into I'm getting dinged for going over my limit. I think they're dinging me. Have I ever? Oh, the proponent. I'm sorry. You mean this? I've carried the mini proponent, and I don't remember it bothering me. Actually, I don't remember it bothering me. But whether it's a pocket pecker, obviously, yeah. But the heaviness and thickness of the blade is probably why it's such a pocket picker. Let me try and catch up with these because I think I might have to end sadly because I think Streamlart is trying to ding me. I think for going over my time limit. So let me try and catch up with comments as fast as possible. Let's see. Okay. Unpopular. Okay. Yeah, the Civivi was the first kind of nice knife that I got, and it astounded me. But again, if you're not super into liner locks, they don't have many options. I mean, the Civivi button lock I would get, you know, and then the Cogent that's out now. But otherwise, if you already know what a liner lock is, I like some of their discontinued ones, like the Shard. I really liked, but that's discontinued. Jason, the Archeo has the pin, but not all of them. Some are liner lock. The Archeo is awesome. Okay, as I understand it, only the double detent Archeo has the pin, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, you're gonna get carpal tunnel with that button lock Elementum. Yeah, I hope so. Telefone carregando no momento. Okay, Grumpy, if you do not
Eu tô
grab one, go for the
aqui. Eu
yeah.
tô limpando o braço.
Everybody loves the riffle. Again,
Ah,
I didn't get it. It's my Carta. It's right up my alley, but it's a liner lock, so I just went ahead and decided not to go with it. The small Archeo is the one with the pin and double D10. I don't think every small Archeo. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think every. I think the small Archeo has the option of having the pin, the double D10. If I'm not mistaken, I love the animal. It's a perfect ECR, but I have the flipper not button. Yeah, again, I do have the Elementum in liner lock as well, but I don't really like the Axis lock so much personally. Really, I definitely find it very fidget friendly. When people say Gerber, I can't help but snicker. Yes and no, Goondocks. I mean, again, some of the gear they make, maybe not some of the knives. You know, the strong arm people like, but the Sumo is not bad. It's their version of the Axis lock. It's a fair price, very large, long blade, good blade shape. Some of this I carried Gerber for years and thought they were awesome, and for a normal everyday person, they are fine. Become a knife junkie and go down the railroad becomes garbage. Totally agree. Yeah, that's what people end up. CEO is too small. Is too small for the studs. I do like it with the flipper tab though. You know, I haven't gotten the flipper version yet. I think I want to check it out. I do not have. Hi Darth. I do not have the Montosa. It like Birdshot IV, they love it. So it looks like it's a good knife, but again, it's a liner lock. So I had the flipper Elemental also, and it just wasn't for me. Not sure what it is, but I just didn't like it at all. I mean, I think the neutral shape is why people like it so much. Believe it or not, oftentimes the more neutral and simple a shape is, the better reviews it tends to get because there's something about it. It's, you know, think about how ergonomic a baseball bat is. It's very simple, you know. There we go. Yay! See another frame lock person.
bom diálogo.
Jax, I understand. There's a few knives for me that I don't jive with, like most Spydercos. Good thing there's tons of other choices. I think of everyone. I never was a big Spyderco fan. I finally came around with the compression lock, and the Wa 2 is one of my favorite EDC knives. Yep, exactly. Oversaturation of knives. I agree. But realize we make up a very tiny percentage of the market. I will buy a backlock. I found I love the Native 5 even with the backlock. I would have disagreed with you until I finally got a Delica. And I do not like, you know, I told myself I don't like backlocks because that's yesterday's technology, right? In today's day and age, aside from cold steel, why get a backlock? Until I got the Delica, and boy, oh boy, is that action sweet. I mean, now I see why people like the Delica.
Amor, quando você
and I
diz
only got
Dolica?
this one purely because I wanted the glow-in-the-dark Zome. Hold on.
Amor, espera. Quando você diz Dolica, você diz o quê? A lâmina ou o cabo?
O quê? Eu comprei isso por causa de cabo, olha.
Ah, mas você falou dólica, não foi?
Délica.
A délica. Oh, sorry.
Okay, let's try and catch up. Sorry, I'm so far behind, guys. Allah, also good to hear you've got your power back. Yes, yes, the Iron Man Latvin just dropped about an hour ago. Okay. I couldn't imagine the type of bad stuff going down it would take to get a triad lock to fail. Guess I just don't pull engines enough with my life.
Hum.
Okay, so as I understand it, Scott, um, I don't believe there's much evidence of of triad locks failing at all, which is why I think they say our tests show it's up to 600 pounds, because I think what happens is with these, I believe that they shear the blade itself along here before they fail the lock. So I don't think that you can actually fail a triad lock, because the pin plus the back lock spring plus the liners together that pinches it here make it so that, right, a chain, the weakest link in a chain, the weakest link turns out to be the blade itself. So I think that's why these locks don't fail. I think they shear the blade instead. I believe that's what the case is. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Yes, Hollywood. That was the song. I got the power. Yeah, everybody knows the Snap version that was on the radio, but they basically stole that beat completely from the Chill Rob G version that came first. Yeah, you know me, Jason. I'm old, so that was the first one I heard. Um, I need to check out this Iron Man knife. Good. I lost my. I'm sorry. I should not have laughed. You know what? Contact them and see if you can. They'll send you a replacement. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I know me, and that's why I did this. I know me. I knew I was going to lose it or not have it, when I needed. Broken sword. By the way, okay, no, you know how you mentioned Broken Sword? Guys, if you have not seen the classic film One Armed Swordsman there's One Armed Swordsman 1, and then there's god damn it. There's One Armed Swordsman 2, and then there's Return of the One Armed Swordsman. Anyway, it's all about a broken sword. It's actually very symbolic of what a broken sword means and a partial manual. It's very deep. The writing is unbelievable. And it's all about a broken sword and how he just destroys everybody. Please
A
go
faca
see
parece um
One
Power
Armed Swords.
Ranger. Que faca,
Proponent
faca
in your
robusta, né?
hand. Okay, they just dropped. Okay, I can't see this. Hold on.
Robusta.
I think I'm frozen again. They just dropped the Deadpool mini sheepdog.
É. Caiu. Daqui a pouco eu caio. Oh, não.
Yeah, they keep digging me. They keep digging me. Let's see. They just dropped the Deadpool mini sheepdog a day or two ago. Okay, so I do already have a mini sheepdog, so sadly, I'm probably not going to get another one. Also, it's a liner lock. I got the one I got because it was modified. They added a hole. They didn't do the flipper delete. Yes, it does get in the way of the liner lock again, which is why I don't like the liner lock. But I do like flippers, so I don't want to do a flipper delete.
Amor, eu
Aluminum.
acho que Matt quer entrar na live com você. Entra, fala, convida
Tá
ele,
bom. Tá bom.
tá?
Aluminum handle for robust and durable. Something tells me the Iron Man is not American made.
Não, ele quer entrar na sua live.
Sim. Tá. Momento. Aluminum
Manda o link,
handle. This is
manda o link
for,
para ele.
yeah, but it's not an American company, I don't think. Okay. Oops, I broke Hollywood. Haha. It was in his hand. I see the sheepdog look good, but the mini is too small for me. It is small. So I'm gonna start a live and bring Hollywood in. Yeah, okay, Matt. I'll join yours. I'd carry the mini sheepdog more than the full size. I live in the city, so smaller is easier. Agreed. Okay, this is why I get minis. They offer the full size 10V sheepdog thumb hole. Yeah, I agree. That's why I get the mini versions of stuff. I get the BT compact, the mini. Oh, this is the full size proponent. The mini proponent, right? I also got what else minis? I got the what else did I get in the compact? I tend to get the compact sizes. I forgot about your crepe hating, ketchup laden ham hands. Crepe. You hate crepe? Who hates crepe? Has catcher mitt glove hands. I will admit I do enjoy good crepe. Ha! Everybody loves crepes. Correct. Small article came in both pinned or liner lock. Okay, double D10. It's just the only one with the pin. Right. Good. Thank you. That's correct. That's how I understand it. Okay. Thanks for clearing that up. Scott, I do. My hands are too big for me. If the Elementum was flat ground, I'll probably own one. Okay. I like hollow grinds. Let's see. There's Laconico Simple. That's boring. Laconico exemplifies what I'm saying. Laconico is one of the most popular guys out there. And if you think about his designs, they're just straight ovals. And they work great. And I remember somebody was like, oh, they're ripping off a Laconico design. I'm like, how are they ripping off Laconico design? It's a friggin' oval, okay? I don't own a single Spyderco. It took me a while to get into Spyderco. I just thought it was too gimmicky, the idea of a hole. But again, only with the compression lock, I do like it. Well, not only. I have to admit, for a back lock, it's nice. But again, as long as there's a compression lock, I'd still get that. I just wanted these glow-in-the-dark Zomi scales. I'm very interested in the Spidey Chef and the Spyderco Drunken. Okay, the Spidey Chef is a frame lock, and the Drunken, I think, is also not a compression, I don't think. I look forward to buying a knife and Magna Cut. Yeah, some people are saying that Magna Cut might be a game changer. It might be the new thing. It might be the steel that will overcome all other steels. I'm hoping in the future, if Magna Cut turns out to be what they say, every knife is going to have a shark lock with Magna Cut. Done. And Micarta scales. Done. Done. You don't need any more knife designs. Just make everything iterations of that. Have you tried a Manix 2 yet? Matt, try the Manix 2 XL. Since you have big mitt hands, you might like the XL. Every knife will be Magna Cut. Maybe 2025. Industry moves slowly. Smock and Shaman are amazing knives. I agree. The Smock is one of my absolute favorite knives. And once again, hollow grind. I can't think of any other Spydercos that are hollow ground. And there's a reason for that, because Kevin Smock, I think his claim to fame is he would make these compression locks. He would make these button mods for people for their compression locks. And then he would also hollow grind it for them. So, which is why Spyderco offered him a knife. And it's one of the best Spydercos there is. Only a Delica 4. Do you like the Delica 4? Okay. If anyone is interested, Dagger Knives has some awesome designs coming out this and next year. Very cool stuff. Yeah. I enjoyed your video, Goondocks, on the Dagger. Those things are stabby city. Oops. I think I just missed it. Is this the one? I have a Dagger Knives. Arrow, yeah. Yeah, those look sweet. I like that. Actually, I commented on your video. I liked several of them. We need to put a Manix 2 in your big mitts. When I can recover from today's shipping expense, I will send you mine to try if you want. Smock. Jason. Smock's totally worth it. I removed the second D10. It's crazy fun. Yeah, I haven't decided yet if I want to remove the second D10. I originally meant to, but now I'm wondering if it will be as satisfying. See, I like that. That's very satisfying. Oh, the Zerks. I got the CRKT Sting. Okay, yeah, I have the Sting. You talking about the double-edged dagger? I did not realize that Sting is actually not a remake. It's like the version. It was that's what made A.G. Russell famous. A.G. Russell is the one that designed that what today CRKT Sting. It's using his design. I keep breaking. Okay, I need to check out the Maddox 2 as well. Okay, someone start a live and invite Hollywood. Yeah, Matt, if you're going to do that, I'm watching movie with family. How about Grumpy? Okay, wow, I just saw Lefty is selling his modded Malibu. Damascus pot metal isn't going anywhere. How did he mod it? Ha, I think you're a little too sure of my card. Don't get me wrong, I love it too, but it's like saying all ice cream will be chocolate. Well, maybe all ice cream will be vanilla. Well, now that literally contradicts itself. I don't like chocolate, but it's good. Thanks, Darth. Sorry, I probably already missed you. Jack's right after he put up a short featuring it. Right after he put up a short featuring it, he sent it to Knife Modders to have the lock bar coded and have it stormtroopered. Okay. Yeah. It's almost close to an hour anyway. So should I just review, or is it already clear? I mean, basically, my suggestion is start off with the Ganzo with the G-Lock if you can still find them on Amazon, or Power Cutlery. Okay. Wow, listen to that. This is your cheapest option for great action, intuitive use, good for, EDC, until they get into knives more and want to get something else. Then step up from that, move to the recoil lock on the CJRB, either the Kicker or the Crag. I would recommend the Crag. The heavier blade works better with the recoil lock. Then the step up from that would be the CRKT Tytac 2, BT Fighter Compact in this case. Then up from that is the Kaiser Sway back in button lock. I added the quick stud to it. This is the White Mountain Knives exclusive micarta 154 cm, no increase in price. Then the Orion Solaris, button lock, Sandvik. And then up from that is the Perpetua from Millet Knives. Sorry, I failed that twice, which is why they re-chamfered this. I just realized this has problems without that chamfering. Ooh, it's terrible. Why did I like this knife so much? I used to love this knife when I first got it. It's awful. Without that chamfering, it's terrible. No wonder people got rid of it. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out a way to chamfer that better. And then at the higher ends, you've got your Kaiser Cormorant, which is great, but hard to find.
Eu gosto dessa faca.
The otherwise the Spyderco Smock. And then finally, I skipped the Civivi Elementum button lock. Also the Cogent, which I don't have yet. And then finally, the knife to end all knives. There is no other knife. As bad as this is, as overpriced, as poorly built, etc., there is no other knife. This is the only knife anymore. There's no other knife besides this. The Shark Lock it's the future. Now, Oz 10, that's not the future. Okay. Grivery is not the future. Shitty thin Grivery is really not the future. But every successive version is going to get better and better and better and better and better. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I missed out. Okay, got a jam. Oops, sorry, Jack's right. Okay. Okay, Stormtrooper. All ice cream will be pineapple sherbet. As a kid, I liked sherbet, and now I don't anymore. And there's my point, right? True. Okay. Let's see. I think you said something here about A.G. Russell.
Ai, meu
I
Ricardo.
love the A.G. Russell small doctor's knife with the scalpel blade. Oh, cool. But too pricey for 8CR. I'm going to have to check that out. Send me a picture if you could. Yeah. Yeah, same with the Buck Doctor's knife. Okay, I have the Buck Doctor's knife, but I got it for extremely cheap. It was like $12, but it doesn't have a scalpel though. It just has a regular, I think, spear point.
Emocionado.
Maybe a clip point.
Emocionado. Amor, eu preciso ir. Já é 1h da manhã. Eu tenho que acordar cedo.
Ah,
Tá? Não esquece
okay.
de me
Well,
acordar.
my doctor's knife is somewhere else. Sorry, I can't find it right now. Same with the Buck
Ei,
Doctor's knife.
escuta. Não,
But sherbet
amor,
isn't ice cream. Good point. It isn't.
vou dar um
Sherbet is
suco.
sherbet. Okay, so I love the Dr. Pepper. One of my favorite things for sherbet was me too, Jason. But it's cold and creamy and next to the ice. You're not really selling it. Ice cream, Hollywood. Okay, Dalika begs to differ. Stop
Amor,
with the
deixa eu me despedir
politics.
do
Okay,
povo.
my thing is
Cala a
so slow.
boca um pouco.
Huh?
Cala a boca um pouco, me escuta. Não esquece de me acordar amanhã,
Ha.
tá bom? Tchau. Good night. Ah,
Okay, looks like she's gone. The ease of manufacture ensures the liner lock won't go away. That's what I'm afraid of. Oh, scent? Cool. I need to get a Dalek. I wonder if that was you just now. Okay. Hey, bro, they come, they go. You know what I'm saying? Knives before wives, bros before hoes. All right. Yeah, looks like she has to go to bed early. She's got a client tomorrow early in the morning. So, oh, that is super cool. Oh my God, $75? Yeah, no. That is, and AJ Russell makes knives in China. How is he going to charge that much? He could forget about it. That's frigging cool, though. To put a scalpel blade on there, that's really cool. That's beautiful. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Plus fewer parts, and it's not really horrible. Yeah, I agree. I got the feldspar, I got the Rhea, amazing action. I agree. I have plenty of show us the picture. Okay. No, I can't get any bigger than that. There we go. See how it's got that scalpel? Isn't that cool? That's genius. That's genius. I've never seen that. Literally, I've never seen that before. Uh, never even would have never known to even look for it. Um, yeah, but $75? No, sorry, no. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, it's like how Almar has really gone downhill for many models. I mean, he's also charging an arm and a leg for D2. It's Almar is so yesterday, great look. I mean, he also died a long time ago, didn't he? TWSS. Sorry, I'm afraid I don't know what that means. Oh God, I hope you're not being sarcastic. Jeez, I wouldn't. I would just buy a scalpel. I mean, scalpels cost like basically nothing. You know, is it even near the end of the month? I'm screwed if I can't use StreamYard. Okay, I'm having major problems here. Phone malfunctions. Um, like this is a knife I used to EDC a lot. The Mini Freak. This is another example. I didn't buy the Super Freak. I went ahead and got the Mini Freak in spite of the bad reviews. I didn't have any trouble getting in and out of my pocket. I guess I got lucky. Fantastic action, but this is not something I would recommend a non-beginner. If they already know what a Benchmade is, they can go get their own Benchmade. The action on it is pretty damn good. I like this knife personally. I used to EDC it a lot. I haven't in a long time, but let's see. It's a beautiful knife, but 75 for ACR is too much. Yeah, we're halfway through this month. Yeah, I know. Only halfway through the month. I know. The grunky gherkin. I know. Exactly. It's only $10. And I believe I have another couple coming to me, which I'm very excited about because I EDC that thing like crazy. Believe it or not, I EDC the tadpole more than anything these days because it's one of the lightest knives I have. So here's some more of the Rough Rider, the ones that I want to make earrings out of. So this one is the dark pearl. This one is I think the regular pearl or something. I don't remember. Silly little looking knives. I think I lost a couple of the ones I got, to be honest. Anyway. Yeah, my doctor's knife I put into a sheath. It's hanging on my other thing. I don't really have super easy access to all my knives. I have to walk around the room. And then half of them aren't even unboxed yet. So there's also that. So I definitely have to catch up on my unboxings. Okay. Let me catch up here. I love my OG Freak, not Mini. Yeah, the Super Freak. I mean, ATR traditional isn't bad. That's true. Normally you get 440 of some kind. Totally true. Totally true. I recently paid 150 on a traditional. I feel like I got my money's worth. You got. Did you get a GEC? Honeybee. It's way smaller than the Honeybee, I think. I fully plan to spend 120 on a traditional once it comes back in stock. Did you see beer and sausage? I never wanted a knife so bad this week. Yeah, and that thing is going to keep going up in price. Are you sure they're putting it out again? I mean, they ought to because it sold out like in minutes, and the secondary market on the beer and sausage knife is out of control. Do you have a beard? I don't know why I can't remember if you do. The thing is, the beer and sausage knife, does it have a fork? I don't remember. Does it? So it has a comb, a fork, and a knife. Is that correct? Because I could show you. Obviously, that's all in one knife, which is cool. So, in terms of the beer and sausage, no, Rough Rider hasn't made a clone, its own version yet. But hold on. Okay, my issue is that HCR requires regular maintenance. I think that scalpel blade would be hard to maintain. Probably. Oh, you did? You got the Northwards Lookout Jack? I don't know what the Lookout Jack is exactly. No, the OG Freak S35 rubberized handle. Oh, okay. I ordered the Kubi 322 blacked out. The Kubi 322 is a liner lock, correct? 150 the most I paid for a traditional. Yeah, I just wouldn't do that. Not with Rough Riders. Sorry, that's just my opinion. Um, knife, fork, knife, fork, knife. No, it's knife, fork, and comb. The beer and sausage knife. It's got a comb. It's got a mustache or beard comb. And yes, beard, but compared to Jason, I'm bald. Compared to everybody. Fork right by the beard comb. Great looking knife, but gross. Ah, exactly. It's interesting. Okay, guys, check out the KU 344 Momentums that just dropped at White Mountain Knives. Okay, is that also a liner lock, Michael? Fork goes through beard to put food in mouth. Same thing. That's a good point. Like a mustache comb on your poop knife. Nasty. I meant comb, yes. Oops. Oh, okay, knife. Your knife, fork, comb, right. I finally got my 20.5 looking it over, except the shark lock cells kind of sharp on the finger when fidgeting in multiple use. Totally. Like I said, it's a pretty bad execution of a great knife. I mean, the future. Trace forges for its own floss. Come on. Your shark lock is sharp. Mine is nice and rounded. Um, it is a little you've you've played with it a lot. After a while, it's pretty sharp. I think in the future it's going to be more rounded. It's surprisingly uncomfortable. I mean, you've fidgeted with it a lot, right? I mean, it gets sore after a while. Now, I want to show you if you can find it. You've got your Rough Rider Carnivore Jack, $15, okay? It's essentially a whatchamacallit, a muskrat, or yeah, muskrat with one of them is serrated, okay? And then you can combine that with the Rough Rider, what is it, the Groomers something? Now, that's a comb. Sure, it's meant for a dog because it comes with a dog whistle, okay? But it's more or less, the same thing. And then it has a can opener for the dog food. But, um, gosh, are these G10 handles or something? Or even micarta or wood? I don't know. The handles are great, though. Beautiful. So, this kind of, sure, there's no fork, but again, with a simple hobo knife, you've got that covered as well. So, isn't that kind of like that? I know you want that beer and whatever. I get it, but just putting it out there. And, I have tons of hobo knives. I have, there's the Boker Snack Pack, which has the whole thing with the fork. I EDC a hobo knife as well as others. Yeah, I agree. Okay, yeah. Okay, Matt, there's a whole line of Rough Rider that, okay, so this is their dog groomer's knife, which has a comb and a can opener and a cap lifter with a dog whistle. And I can show you the other ones if you want. They go out of stock really, really fast, though. I'll show you the other ones. And they come with a slip. This is not the original slip. As a matter of fact, anyway, I'll show you. It comes in a slip. I'll show you. Okay, now the dog groomers originally comes in this shitty leather slip that had a plastic insert and it just slides around. It was useless. So I took the insert out and I put the sous chef in there, which is the Santoku, the folding Santoku with the back lock. I cut myself with it. Yes, I did. So there's that. And then there is the saw cut dog bone jack again. It's the dog bone jack with the shield, the whistle, and then you've got your I don't know, was that a spear point plus a that backlock's too strong. Okay. That is not coming out. Okay, I'm gonna have to flush that joint out. There, it's sharing a spring, so that's probably why. As you can see, that's a the fuck do you call that? That neutering. Spay blade. Sorry. So a spay blade plus, I guess, a spear point, and this just fell out completely. That's not supposed to happen. That is not supposed to happen because, yeah, see? Okay, there's some Rough Rider quality QC issues. So this is my first QC issues. See, that post moved. I think that might have been part of the problem. I think the tang was hitting that. Looks like that's what was happening. So I'm gonna have to figure that out somehow. And then more or less the identical. This is the smooth bone again with the spay blade and thing, but these are just the two. This is the saw cut. As you can see, they put the saw cut, and this is just the smooth bone. I like the smooth bone better. And then there is one other one that's out of stock, is the sow belly saw cut. Those are the four dog bones in that series. I believe there's only 4 in that series. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, cool. I'll look at the Lookout Jack. It's a 3.4. I forgot what we were talking about, Michael. I know I asked you. Oh, yeah, the KU 344 Momentum. Okay. So let's see. It is a 3.4 D2 thumb stub front flipper. $43 looks nice. Okay, but it's a liner lock, right? Hey Todd, how's it going? Let's catch up here. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, it's rough on and not the most comfortable to pull back on, but it's just another callus and I will develop it. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Y'all are Canadians. Putin, snow, and a boot you all. May the grade A dark amber surfer fully upon your glow in the dark dinosaur toonies. Wow, Matt. Yeah, the sous chef. I got that as a gift from D's Knives from Danny, believe it or not. He brought that by to me. I thought that was so nice of him. It's because the other knife is open. I thought, yeah, I mean, it shares a spring, but I think there was something more to it. I thought that as well, but I think the post was in the way. Spay blade, exactly. I think it's spay with an E, Spey, I think. Couple passes of my diamond hone and shark lock has less bite. Oh, good idea. Okay, I'll have to try that. Another knife sail blown. I know. I want those dog centered RR. Yeah, get them. You have to hurry up though. They sell out. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I know, huh? If I didn't buy liner locks, I wouldn't have gotten my Arian, Operator, 322, a couple other good ones this year. Yeah, I agree. Which is why I got the Penguin. I got the Penguin even though it's a liner lock because I wanted to see, how good the micarta and the action was. And indeed, for whatever, I think it was like 30 some bucks. Same with I got the Proponents because I wanted that massive hunk of steel. I wanted the pin. I wanted the micarta. But it's a liner lock. But I still went ahead and went for it. I also got, the Badger because I wanted to check out again how good these budget knives are, and the action on the Honey Badger is, look at that, unbelievable. For that price point is astounding. It's just GRN though, and Goondocks pointed out, send it back, Rough Rider lifetime warranty. I know, but they're always out of stock. So wrapped up Canadian culture pretty good with that one. Forget beaver tails, moose, and hockey though. Indeed. Whiskey. Canadians have their own whiskey. Dang it. There's always something I forget. I won't fail you next time. Yeah. Danny rocks. Yes, indeed. Northern Lights as well. Seriously, glow-in-the-dark coins are amazing. Are they really, though? They really do have glow-in-the-dark coins? I didn't know that. I'm going to have to get some Canadian money now. Just something to take some of the sharpness down. Didn't take much at all. Oh, really? Is that what loonies are? Is that why they're called loonies? I didn't know that. Now the shark luck isn't unpleasant to even use, now providing enough grip. Okay. I'm going to have to look into that. Let's see. I see. Right at that part right there. Right at the end. Yeah. Right there. Just a couple. Loonies, Toonies, same thing. Oh, I see. I have a couple of frames, so I usually prefer line locks and ambidextrous ones being a lefty. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. As a lefty, these axis locks, button locks, it's just so much better for lefties, because up until I disconnected my tendon, I was semi-ambidextrous, and I always carried a knife in my left-hand pocket. So, it was always important for me to have lefty knives. So that was something that was a big part of what got me interested in other kinds of things besides liner and frame locks, was because I wanted something that was easy to use for my left hand. So that's when I really started going hard with the axis locks, because these are ambidextrous. And then I got into the button locks. These are very ambidextrous. Unfortunately, I don't left-hand carry quite as much now, because I'm going to have to get another surgery. It didn't go well, sadly. Okay, I am nearly at an hour and a half. Matt, if you want to go live, I can hop on there because I want to keep my things relatively short. But if you want to start one, I know you have a paid thing, so you're not going to have a limit. So otherwise, I think I'm going to call it. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. That was sort of my mini discussion on, because I'm starting to narrow down to just a few. Because here's the thing. When someone asks you a simple question like, well, what kind of knife should I get? You need to be prepared with less than 6. Do you know what I mean? 5 or less, something like that. Just say, well, how much are you thinking to spend? And say, would you be willing to spend 40? Like 40? Oh, that's a lot. Okay, well, then get yourself a Gonzo. See what I mean? And just tell them, get the Gonzo 92. Tell them which one to get. Otherwise, they're just going to get confused. Okay, the Rough Rider pet groomer tool is $7.18. Are you serious? At Knife Country, or $10. Wow, at SMKW, $4.59. Oh wow, I'm gonna have to get that. The RR Dogbone Muskrat is $26 on. Wow, yeah, they're ripping you off for $26. God, that might be somebody reselling it, because those things sell out and then they get marked up. But that's great to know. The thing is, with the pet groomer tool, that's still the first run, as far as I know. That did not sell well at all. I think they're still literally on the first run. Nobody bought that. Knife guys don't want something without a blade, And that's a true. Good night, Scott. That's a true pet groomer's tool. It works great for me though, as I do fine motor stuff with the left hand, but my right is my strong arm. I use it for chopping and such. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like being slightly ambidextrous, I actually do a lot with my left hand because I'm right hand dominant. I'll usually hold things and then do stuff with my left hand. So I like being able to have both. There's a lot of stuff I prefer doing with the left hand. I'm like, 70-30 or whatever. I'm still obviously right hand dominant, but um, uh, I I like to keep this free as much as I can to use it. I'm mad at Chicago Knife Works and won't buy from the game. Yeah, you had a problem with their delivery. Is that right? I've ordered not very much from them. I think maybe only one time. They have good prices though. Yeah, call them up. Left is my holding hand. Right is the hitter. Okay. Like I can southpaw no problem. I'm pretty comfortable fighting southpaw. It's not that big of a leap for me. It's not terribly awkward. It's not that big of a deal. Um, yeah, and I'm a goofy foot skateboarding. They have really good prices. I forget how good this is. I pulled this out the other day. Oh, the FB 760. I mean, this is an incredible knife, and thus far 440C has worked well for me. CKW, lowest price on most of what they carry, but slow service. Yeah, Chicago Knife Works. Okay, indeed, that is true. What did I order from them? Anyway, they have really, really good prices. Oh, really? Knives Plus? Oops. Usually go with White Mountain knives for Oh yeah, for sure. For Canada, certainly. Anyone in Canada, go with White Mountain knives. They will hook you up because they'll find a good way to do it. That the knife I ordered for my child didn't meet their quality expectations, so they will give me a refund. Why didn't they tell me when they? That's too bad. I mean, but good on them for not sending something they realized was subpar. But yeah, it sucks for your timing though, doesn't it? After all, it's a gift, so that's got to suck. What is this? Oh, I know what this is. Okay. Okay, it is 30 seconds from an hour and a half. So let me call it. Matt, are you going to go live right now? If you want to go live, I don't think John from Grateful Panic is live yet. Tell me if he is. I'm assuming you guys would have already told me by now. Yeah, this is why you don't want to get copper. I know some of you guys don't mind the heavy weight, but copper, it's just too heavy. It's too dense. Frankly, I don't get it. This is the argue, isn't it? Dylan Mallory. Well made. I get it. Yeah, I'm over it. I got it to test it out, but all right. Good night, Grumpy. They didn't send it and told me the quality was bad when I asked them why I didn't have it. I think to cover the fact that they've got to. Oh, yeah. Is he? If he hasn't yet, you might as well go live until he does. White Mouse are favorite, but had several orders from Chicago Knife with no issues. Good. Okay. I doubt John is going live this late. Yeah, Matt. If you want to go live, go for it. I'll join you if you want. Otherwise, I'm gonna watch me. I'm unable to go live. Still doing movie time. Oh, okay. No worries. I don't know. It's almost midnight where John is. Oh, I see. Okay, then you're right. Then at that point, then he's not gonna go live. Wait, they sent bad knives. No, they said they said it was bad, so they didn't send it. But Jason's thinking they might have just made up that excuse because they forgot to send it, which is a fair assumption. They might well have done that. So, yeah. I'm sorry to cut this off early. Z-Man, go live. Yeah. If somebody else wants to go live, I hate to cut it short. I just want to kind of keep these to a reasonable time. If I want to do one where we just shoot the shit, we could do that as well. But this is just how I put out my content because I don't want to record a video. I'm lazy. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. And I'll wait to see if Z-Man's going to go live. When I called them, they said it was sent, but they would check on. Oh, yeah. I think you might be right, Jason. I see what you mean. Because at first they said it. Yeah, anyway. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to see if I can clock out early, too. Just drop the live and do another one, Hollywood. Okay, fine. All right, good night. Or I'll be right back.